I need you to leave the country.
Franklin.
Promise.
Let's go.
I've got 24 hours.
These men are wolves. One sniff, we're both dead.
I'll be watching.
FX's Snowfall, all new, Wednesday at 10 on FX. Stream on Hulu.
What's up, baby?
What's going on with you, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
I've seen you do a lot of great things on the camera, man, on screen. I mean, people, of course, I mean, this season, final season of Snowfall, I mean, you gave it your all on screen. People been, felt that, I think you were one of the favorite. You definitely like, it's between, y'all always one of the favorite characters. I don't know who people like more. But I want to talk about Ballad of the Bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I watched this whole episode with just my mouth dry, like, dang, this is great. This is like some Singleton. I was watching the whole episode thinking this, right? And I'm getting a screener early. I'll get the full rundown. I haven't been catching promos for that or nothing. I might not call it on social, whatever. If I get to the end screen and see directed by Amin Joseph.
Yeah, man.
I mean, just think about from when you started with Singleton. I mean, I know you did a whole bunch of stuff, but when you started with Singleton to now being at this season, at this part of your career, and you directing like one of the penultimate episodes of the season.
Yeah, man, it's surreal, right? All I know is that John, man, he was so impactful and so intentional with how he put a battery in your back, and Tommy Schlamme, Tommy Schlamme, that's one of our EPs. I remember going to him in the second season of Snowfall and saying, look, I'm a filmmaker, and I'm an actor. That's one of my languages, but it's like a programmer, man. I got more languages. I got more coding. Yeah. And one of those points of view is from behind the camera as a director. I feel like I could have a lot to say, and I can be a contribution. And to be honest, at the time, it's like, man, you're a great actor. Like, we haven't even tapped that potential in this particular show.
Yeah.
But I was on it, and I end up shadowing. I remember I was shadowing for Snowfall when John died. I was shadowing, and he took a trip over to Costa Rica. We had some filming out in Costa Rica on location, and that's where he ended up getting some complications. He came back. And then within a week, he was gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just crazy time, But yeah, he spoke inspiration into me, and it was always enthusiastic about me being a filmmaker and saying that I would get my time one day. So, we went through the pandemic. There was a lot of block shooting and a lot of double up on episodes where I wouldn't be able to get an opportunity to direct in those seasons because, they were doing them 2 at a time.
Yeah.
But finally this season, with COVID sort of chilling a little bit, we were able to get back to somewhat normalcy. And they called my number, and then they called my number with, now it's the final season. We talking about episode 8. I'm like, wait a minute. This is in the red. This is in the white heat. You know what I mean? Like, this is the crescendo, bro. Like, this is climax world.
Yeah.
And it was that. So to be able to get great material, a culmination of all these things converging, and then my vast knowledge of the show, everybody from the crew to the cast, the entire company being confidants of mine, being supporters of mine, wanting to see me do well, and then me having a vision for how I see this show still staying within the tone and the themes of our show.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for success, bro. You can't put me in those type of situations and I not smack it out the park.
I ask how that chemistry, because I know when you in play, when you're on scene together, I mean, you playing with Angela, Damson, or whoever you're playing with, Leon, whatever that scene is, right? Y'all got a vibe. As a director, did it feel different in those moments when you're on camera with them, like making the connection and getting like the?
No, it was just more intense, it was to the, maybe 10th power.
Yeah.
Because now not only, in I had the cheat code, also with a show like this and me knowing the cast for so long, I know the dreams deferred within the actors of things that they have that haven't manifest, that they haven't been able to express with their characters. I know those things just like those things live in me. So it's easy for me to tap into that with just color, to tap into past storylines, to tap into prior history, the past life of the characters, to the tone of a car, the type of music that I'm going to overlay here, the mood that I'm setting, what I want you to recall from a previous season or from a personal experience that we may have even had together or that you told me about because we've developed such a close relationship throughout the last 6-7 years. So that's just a wealth of information for a creative to be able to kind of pull from however I like and be able to impact a moment, So I was very prepped, I was very prepared. And then I was loose enough to be able to use the moment and collaborate with everyone in the moment, but still know what I want. And, it just was a really good feel. And there was a choreography. You mentioned like playing with people, and I just know I know this show, I know when this show works best, when we feel like we're really in pocket, the type of directors that we most respond to, the type of scenes, the type of coverage, and we're going to beat the hell out of a scene and do it 1,000 times till it's beat to death. Or are we going to measure one, or am I going to measure 20 times and then cut once, so all of that information is, you're just using all of that stuff. And then you get on set and then it was about having fun, John Singleton was a fun director, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me, every day I had my boom box out there. I would do raffles. I would do, I had my everybody from Crafty to Best Boys and hair department to, our grips, or even someone coming over from administration. We're dancing, we having a good time, man. We having a ball, and keep that enthusiasm up because this is tough work at the end of the day. Really stress, a lot of anxiety in these storylines. So I wanted to always keep that good energy, and keep,
I don't want to do any like spoilers because I want everybody to see it's fresh, and I don't want to talk about some of the stuff, but I do want to talk about, the mise scene with the flag and that imagery and I remember the first time I interviewed Chadwick Boseman for 42, and I talked to him about having to use racial epithets towards some from the character space and how he felt after that. How did your character feel after that scene, after shooting that scene, what it means to us as a Black men to be in that shot? You know what I'm saying? Like, how was that?
I was fortunate that knowing this show very early on in our concept meetings and our tone meetings, I expressed how I could heighten that scene. There was a, you know, you understand the what went on, but it was a different type of way of getting to the truth, right? It was a different way of solving the situation that those characters find themselves in, and I wanted to heighten that. And with this world, you know, that we're in as Black men, there's one torture psychologically that is synonymous with our with us being in this country.
Yeah.
It is as American as apple pie. And
It's Rap Brown.
and, and to me, it was this was a moment to show that even someone playing judo, playing chess, a psychological game of one-upmanship, that there is something that when it's all said and done, this is the type of way that they know to get under our skin.
Yeah.
That they know the thing to break us. And they use it when they use it when they know they have it. You know, it's an ultimate symbol of power. It's the ultimate for them, you know, it's worse than the N-word.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. And that, along with our nation's flag, to me brings a symbolism that that's us.
Yeah.
That's us. That's purely who we are in this nation, in this country, and that's the, you know, that's the contrast. And so I thought that imagery, and then to reveal that, you know, to reveal rather than that being in your face, you know, it's sort of in the agony of fighting for your humanity, fighting for your life, fighting for breath. You realize you're doing that, you know, under the banner.
Yeah.
You know. So that just meant a lot symbolically for me, and this this organization, this agency that is supposed to protect its citizens and its communities, and but this, by nefarious means, this is what they're doing. This is how they're wreaking havoc on their own citizens and their own communities. And I just thought that was a beautiful culmination of that. Hopefully it resonates with the audience. But I was very intentional about it, placement, timing, everything.
No, we're about to run short on time, but I gotta at least get one more question. I want to rewind all the way back before Howard, before you did. I want to go to, I don't know when. Well, I don't know when in time you was at the Apollo and intern and working at the Apollo Theater.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, who were you meeting? Because there was so many people coming through the Apollo back in this time too. Apollo was like really popping. Like, can you tell me some stories? Like, as a young man, like who were you seeing come through those doors? And
I mean, I've seen everyone. I've seen, you know, I started working at the Apollo with one of my best friends coming up, and when we were in high school, I was in the 10th grade, so I think I was like around 14, 14 or 15. I think I was 14, and we would have that job in the summer, and we started off working in administration offices, and we were ushers, and we did everything around. We worked backstage, patching lights and all of that. And I sort of knew that I was going to be a theater arts major. I was finding that I was going to do that. I hadn't picked a major for college yet, but it was on my mind. So people kind of knew that it's, you know, the kid wants to act. So my Grace Blake, who was our executive director of the Apollo at that time, she would send me out on auditions. And but the late great James Brown, I was able to see some of his later performances. I was able to see Phyllis Hyman. I was able to see Bill Clinton blow his saxophone. I was able to see the late Michael Jackson. I was able to see the late Biggie Smalls, the late Craig Mack. I was able to see the late Heavy D. I mean, I remember Ghostface Killer kicked the Tree of Hope and broke it in half. I mean, I've seen everything. I've seen every fight, every brawl. I remember one time one of KC's baby mothers came and served him child support papers while he was performing.
What's my baby?
Yeah, that's what every time I close. Wait, what's that? Yeah, man. I remember so many I'm playing too, with Casey and JoJo, but it happened, man. Yeah. But it was just I mean, Apollo Theater is a magical place. It's truly where stars are born and legends are made, and that's my stomp, you know. And I remember all the, you know, more important than even what I saw is that there would be older men there, maitre d's there, you know, Mr. Sykes that would tell me about, you know, Sugar Ray Robinson walking these streets, just like you, young man. What you gonna do with your life? You know, great people came here and walked these same streets that you did. You know, keep your head up, stride wide, smile wide, do something with your life. I had so many people in the community in Harlem that looked out for me as a young man coming through the Apollo Theater. And it's, you know, I'm just a reflection of all that intention and all that love that people put on me. And I was there able to look at the, you know, be in the backstage as a young man and be able to watch the performers, just be able to watch countless performers in the height of their careers do their best work. And that's in me, you know. It's just like water through me, you know. I had a diet of that. Even when I came back from Howard University, I went back and worked at the Apollo Theater. Big shout out to Camilla Forbes, who's a Howard alum that is now the executive director of Howard University. There's so many things that are full circle, you know. And yeah, Billy Mitchell, the Apollo historian, is a great friend and mentor to me through these years. And you know, that's what it's all about. You know, that place, I live in that place, and yeah, it's who I am. Yeah.
You made another star. All those other stars that came through there, yeah. Lauren Hill, everybody else.
Oh yeah,
we got you, Mr. Joseph, doing it all, man. Okay, and you've done so much great work, and now, like, I just can't wait to see all the other stuff that's coming up. Like, I really can't. I mean, that's a way to, like, finale this season where a lot of people were discovering you and falling in love, but now, man, I can't wait to see what else you direct.
Thank you.
You on the screen in front of, man. I mean, Unc was live. Unc kept the telling this long. I ain't gonna lie. But
yeah, Unc was it. But yeah, I look forward to you know, putting down. We're in interesting times right now, you know. The character to me was a last of the dying breed, but we are in a new technological age, and I just hope that audiences are really reveling in the art that we're creating now, because this is the last of an age. It'll be different coming out from here on out. So when you get talents like, you know, Angela Lewis's and Isaiah Johns and Michael Hyatt's and Damson Idris's and Carter Hudson's and Sergio's, like, we should, you know, bask it in this great time of television, because things are changing.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time, brother, as always. Rooting for you as always. I'm glad you stopped by the Treehouse tonight to talk about this episode. Can't wait till everybody catch it, you know.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I will say I put my foot all up in that.
You got a next show coming up after the season? Like, what's the next? Or
the next show is I have a feature coming out, but the next show is Justified. They reprised Justified,
Okay.
Justified Primeval, and it's on FX as well. And I have a nice role in there as well.
That's what's up. Hey, Joseph, appreciate you, brother. Peace.
Yeah. Talk to you soon, man.
All right.